God, that was one of the more difficult things I've ever done.
Be in a meeting?
Try to be in 2 different conversations at the same time.
Oh.
And, like, maintain my mutes and all that with both of them.
I mean, you didn't have to, but... You wanna...
He likes the challenge.
Now, so...
Flex your mic manipulation skills.
Yeah, he likes the challenge.
Yeah. Alright, so then I guess, are we pretty much ready? In some state?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah, okay. So, last time, you guys finished delving through the ruins of the Chironasium, as it was called by the previous residents, some kind of magical workshop for creating constructs, it seems. You had a pretty harrowing fight with some of the Guardians, which almost went very badly, but you were able to pull through. And then the amount of ruckus that you caused sort of set off the full blaring alarm, and you guys had a brief encounter with a Archon that was seemingly like one of the more powerful guardians of the place, in this room with a bunch of crystals with like runes naming different places. You guys decided that you were not going to fight this thing, which was probably a very smart idea. And you ran away, grabbing as much of the loot as you could, which I believe ended up being, including the little knickknacks and stuff that you had on your person, the magic items. You had a sack full of golden silverware, a pretty large collection of like hides and stuff, and a bag of like the magical like foodstuffs that they ate there. Yeah, which I think you also had a couple more of those like across your person. So
yeah,
you don't have a significant amount of them, but you have a decent stash.
I have a pretty good amount.
Right.
Those little pictures.
Yeah, I mean by a significant amount, I mean like you don't have like boxes and barrels of them, which were
gotcha. Yeah,
the quantity that you had initially staged out there.
We don't have a cargo unit.
No, you don't have a cargo unit.
Yeah,
you do have a cargo unit. So the silverware or the goldware, I'm going to call that a unit of luxuries, which if you sold it to the right person, you would probably get a much higher price than just like luxury price. But
because it's weird and old.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're just like wanting to off it in a fairly easy manner, that would be the amount that you'd get from it. Yeah, so you guys flew back to Grey Harbor, deciding that you didn't want to walk down the entire mountain. Before doing that, however, you sort of stopped to rest, and you got a message from Dio concerning the Arnaki fleet that you read about in the mail you stole, that was headed to deal with the Renegade fleet. Apparently they are scheduled to arrive at around the 20th of December, which is in 2 weeks. You also delivered a response to Dio as well as an amulet to use object reading on, Robin's body cam. And then you finally, at long last, got back to the ship and were able to rest a little bit and recover. Tara is still at 3 wounds, unfortunately.
Oh, what you talking about? I'm fine.
But other than that, you guys are doing pretty good.
Oh, right. We leveled up.
And yes, you did. You are at 55 experience. So you got an advance, which I know Tara picked. I believe Mr. Dibbs also increased strength, if I remember correctly.
I think yeah.
And the captain is plotting our next course, I see.
Which happened to spell out a dirty word.
I didn't notice that.
It was hard to read throughout
Yeah.
all the distance measurements.
Yeah. Yeah, so currently, I guess we'll drag this.
I bet the only way I'm ever gonna learn how to use the measurement tool is by spelling out dirty words.
I mean, if it's good practice, then by all means.
I mean,
I think Robin is gonna take a trademark weapon on the rifle.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. +1 to hit. Pretty good. Also, +1 parry? Right?
if
I have it
you're
out,
on
yeah.
hold with it out,
If you're on hold with it.
or if it's readied or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know the exact terminology.
it says when ready. I'm assuming that just means
I mean, if
I
you
have it.
have it in your hand, then it's already.
Is that what that means? Oh, that
Yeah.
got awesome. I mean,
I
it's
mean,
already good.
Wasn't it? Didn't it already do that, or did it not?
It was
just
only
the
if you were
+1?
like on hold. In the old edition, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was in an old version.
Well,
Yeah,
either way,
it's been a while, but
boost my parry from +1 to, or from 4 to 5. So I'm doing pretty good.
of course you still have the. If you're pairing with that, you still have the unarmed or improvised weapon penalty,
It's
Right.
unless you have a bayonet on your rifle.
+1 to parry when readied, even if it's a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
So the +1 negates the unarmed penalty, or not the unarmed penalty, the improvised weapon penalty, unless you have a way to negate that in some other way.
Let's see if I can
Oh,
figure
I mean,
out-
I've been getting pretty close to people, and I don't like that. Maybe I will buy a bang.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I mean,
yeah, so when they say
bayonet.
ready, they just means it's in your hand.
In your hand and able to be used.
And able to
like,
be
I mean,
used.
if it's a two-handed weapon and you're only holding it in one hand, then you can't use it, right? But like, that's
Right.
pretty much the only scenario, I think.
Dang, I didn't think that about trademark. That's pretty good. Hang on, I gotta rethink my character.
Yeah. Yeah, that parry bonus.
I mean, I have all my spell castings. Well, I might push my arcane up, but
Alright, so yeah, trademarked weapon for Robin. So,
Now, is that just that rifle, or is that any rifle?
it is that specific weapon.
There's something I can do to
You can change it
if I lose the weapon. or
if you
something
lose
like
the
that.
weapon.
Right. And it takes like a week or something like that.
Yeah. See, I always want to
Well-
do that, but I have too many fucking weapons.
Yeah, you don't like picking one.
No.
Just make every single advance as a trademark weapon on a different weapon.
Oh, it's like they're all my trademark weapon.
They call me Mr. Trademark.
Trademark.
Is
with
Mr.
a
Trademark
T
trademark?
M.
Oh yeah, and copyright.
I don't. Yeah. I mean. Okay. Anyways, could keep talking about this, but yeah. So to start things off, I assume that you guys are going to hang out in Great Harbor for a little bit to recuperate?
Well, we're probably. I think we were gonna talk to the captain.
You were planning on going to talk to the captains about the news that Dio gave you?
And then I think we're gonna head out to go talk to Dio, right? It's only like a 3-day journey or something like that to get to.
Well, I also am not feeling great, which means I'm not steering the ship. If I want to make recovery rolls.
If
That is true.
Daya, the captain at the helm, I can always get rid of
That was inaudible. Sorry.
He was saying that he could play his lute to make her feel better at the helm, but then she still wouldn't get to make the natural healing rolls.
I think you would be at a penalty if you're not like.
There's
resting.
a penalty to the natural healing roll.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not resting, that's pretty. It gets hard.
Let me look it up real quick.
I just know that like natural healing is something you don't want to rely on in this game.
It can be difficult, especially when you have Victorian age medicine.
For sure.
Oh. Dude, bayonets are kick ass.
Bayonets
they
are kick-ass. They are so good in this system.
Me and Caleb found that out years ago.
For real. Like,
Yeah, you're always armed, and they're parry bonus. for
Yep.
sure.
you got reach.
And you get reach.
Yeah. It's fucking
Oh, they have
sweet.
reach too?
Yep. It just turns your rifle into also a spear.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll be doing in Great Harbor. I gotta go find some stabby stabs.
Good bayonet.
Assuming that's a thing in this game.
What? Bayonets?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Standard military issue.
What about a chainsaw? Is that a thing in this game?
No.
No.
Are you
Not
looking
yet.
for a chainsaw bayonet? Because yes.
Yeah, do you want a laser bayonet?
I mean, if I can find one, yeah.
Okay, well you can't, but
So a wounded character makes a vigor roll every 5 days. Success is 1 wound and raises 2.
yeah, I think they must have gotten rid of the
A crit fail makes it worse.
yeah. Which is pretty
Oh,
bad.
so it's now it's just someone can support my vigor
Yeah.
roll, which I assume would be the good doctor,
Yep.
Tobias Finch.
And you have the wound penalty still.
Yep.
Which
Which is the
you would
hard
not be able to ignore with music, unfortunately, because it would have to be like
for 5 days.
continuous 5 days straight. And you wouldn't be able to hear it while you were asleep.
I was told a hospital or if she needed to man the helm
Yeah.
for something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, if you wanted to, you could definitely leave right away.
I'm just scared of the Cardinal. That's my only thing.
Well, we'll do this. We'll do the meeting with the Admiral first. Actually, before that, where are you guys gonna put your loot?
In a barrel under the ship?
I mean, you like the stuff we can't carry with us?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you could.
We should-
I believe Robin has the map, just like in her bag, right?
Yeah.
We should really make a smuggler's compartment.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, I mean, are we just in my cabin?
And just put a sign on that says no boys allowed.
Oh,
So-
keep in mind.
Almost everybody.
Yep.
Just you and Robin. Okay, so just like the random hides and stuff, and all that gold, in your cabin.
Yep.
And I think you have the magic items on your person.
Yep.
The boots and the prism. And Robin has the map.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. Alright, so the following morning, after you guys are able to get back to your ship, probably like late morning, before you're ready to sort of meet and figure out what you want to do. And you guys want to go over to the Hall of Admirals to try and talk to Kestrel about the thing you received?
Yep. Is that like
Alright.
a physical note?
It is, yes.
We'll probably bring
I
that
mean, it
along.
doesn't have any bells and whistles. It's
Right.
quite literally just a paragraph of text, but on a piece of paper. But okay, yeah, bring that with you. So yeah, you walk over to the square and the Hall of Admirals, the two like ship holes sticking up on top of the ground, and the guy at the entryway, you know, whatever pirate, like random sort of piratey guy, just kind of like looks at you and says, "What you want?"
Captain Dejar and crew to see Admiral Kestrel.
You them people by the frigate?
Yeah, right. Is it within eyesight?
No.
Okay.
He just
yeah,
kind of like gestures over towards where you're docked.
yes, forget me not.
Alright. He kind of opens the door and goes like, "Oi! Captain Najar! Here to see Admiral." And,
Captain Badger.
Captain Najar. Yeah, this guy is a Baelishman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he closes the door again and just like looks at you.
As in to go in?
No, just kind of like waiting.
Okay.
So it's a nice day out, huh?
Sure.
Baelish, huh? What brings you this far?
Well, fuck the Navy, am I right?
Yeah, you got that one right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you were a Navy man then? What did you do?
Gunnery.
Oh, alright. I was a helmsman.
Captain now. Nice.
Yeah. A little more fun than being a captain in the Navy, I'd say.
Yeah, do whatever you want. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I'll drink for that. And I get out a flask and drink.
Yeah, so after a little while, another guy, a little bit more put together than the outdoor guard, opens the door and kind of like says, "The Admiral is ready for you."
Oh, thank you.
And it just kind of like leads you in through the entryway and into the main hall with the big table. There currently it's just the Admiral and his ship's mage, the Karaite woman, Kyrie, there. The Admiral is kind of like at one of the back tables, looking over some maps or papers of some kind. And Kyrie is just kind of like leaned up against a bookshelf a little ways away.
I want to try to peek at what he's reading.
Alright, yeah, I mean, like, you walk up, and he's like, stands up and sort of turns around to meet you, like, walking a little bit forward, so I mean, do you want to like awkwardly sort of like lean around him and look over there?
Sure.
Okay.
I won't be sneaky about it. I'll just sort of like lean over. So that's what you're reading.
There's some like letters that you can't make out the text from over there, and like what looks to be a map of the Shattertook.
So I would be at a -7 right now.
To notice things.
Wound penalties.
Yep. Okay, so I guess revise that. Inky blotches on paper. There's definitely something on those.
It's like, what you reading? Looks like words.
Yep. Oh boy.
Alright.
Yeah, so the Admiral says, Captain Najar and company. Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
I trust you've enjoyed your stay in Grey Harbor so far?
Very relaxing, of course. Haven't done much.
Yes, well, you look like you've had a couple of drinks last night or something.
Wouldn't you know? Got into a fight. With some lightning. From myself.
Well, I'm told that happens to the mages on occasion.
It's more common than you think.
Like half the time.
Only amongst you two.
Oh, really? The Kyrie kind of offers you a sort of like sympathetic look.
Mostly self-inflicted. I am my own worst enemy, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
No, you come with some purpose, I presume?
I'll pull out the little letter. Does it have Dial's name on it?
Nope.
Okay. We received this just yesterday from one of our contacts in the place.
Ketris.
Ketris. I thought you might want to take a look at it. I'll hand it to him.
He'll take it, sort of read through it, and says, well, I believe you mentioned something, or you gave him this mail on your first...
Yeah, I gave him the, orders that were in the mail.
He says, so, speaking of your previous delivery, well,
it's a lot earlier than I would have expected.
Yes, it is. Curious. Well, that gives us something to deal with, if your informant is accurate. I'll have to verify, of course.
Yeah, please do. I don't think he's let us down so far. I'll look to the other two for confirmation.
Robin will shrug.
He kind of like raises an eyebrow up and says, well, I appreciate you bringing this to me, and at this point, Kyrie sort of taps his shoulder and makes a couple of hand gestures, and he kind of like pauses and says, really? Well, that's interesting. I wonder if they planned that. And she makes a couple more gestures and says, well, it seems as though we may have a bit of a scuffle on our hands, if this is true. I assume your contact did not know specifics about the size of this fleet.
Not that he wrote. Otherwise, I think he would have said something.
Well, they'll likely try and blockade us. If they decide to attack more directly, then, well, they will not emerge victorious.
So sure?
Of course, nothing's certain in battle, but you sailed through the sandbanks around here. If you did not have a map or a guide, they are quite treacherous, and even if they did, our Karite friends here have traps set in certain the smaller islands out there. Now that we know something's coming, they will have a very difficult time getting to us.
Well, that I didn't know.
It's one of the reasons why the tribes on this island were never conquered by the Arnaki. Or so I'm told.
No, they didn't keep all the foreigners out.
No, well, this is a place for freedom. We kind of wound up here through a curious set of adventures, but that is not the time for such discussions. And he kind of like looks at the note again. Despite his bravado, you can tell he's a little bit concerned about it and definitely like mulling it over. And he says, well, as I said, we'll have to verify this. I'll have to contact the other captains, make sure that they are ready and mobilized. You're a privateer ship, are you not? Or
We
something of the sort?
have yet to call anyone, well, I suppose you could call us that. That's the closest thing.
Well,
Freelancers.
I think that our current business is concluded. In our last meeting, we were unable to give you the information, but we did compensate you for your galley that you so generously brought us.
Well,
But if you are willing to bring your guns to bear alongside ours against this threat, then, well, you'd be entitled to a share of the plunder. For certain.
well,
We usually get 2 shares.
the Arnaki Navy's a big player to align yourself against, but I think our days on the non-shit list may be numbered anyways. It's certainly something to talk about.
Well, if... And he kind of looks back at Kyrie, who signs a couple more things, and says, if our past strategies are anything to go by, I don't think you have to worry too much about survivors telling tales.
Question, is the Karite mage, is she doing some weird sort of sign language?
She's not doing magic,
Okay.
so you assume it's sign language.
Is it anything that, as a Karite, I would know, or is it?
You could give me a common knowledge roll.
The Karite have a prolific deaf community. Although she's not deaf. Like, we've talked to her and she's talked back,
Yeah,
right?
she unless she can lip read.
I got a 4.
A 4, okay. Yeah, so you do know that a Karite sign language does exist. Consequence of, well, you know, sometimes with like magic packs and stuff, you get weird complications with your voice or your hearing or something. So yeah, it exists. Probably not something that you specifically know, because like it's not really used for, like, specific tribes would be proficient in it, and there would be dialects and all that. But Yeah.
Man, Ben, were you reading my mind? Because just last week I was like, I wonder if a deaf character would work, or a mute character.
I'm always like really interested in the concept of that, like how it would work logistically.
Because that one character from Dragon Prince is just awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a hindrance. Mute.
Mute, is it? That's cool.
Yeah, so what was the last thing that was said? He just said discretion shouldn't be an issue.
Right.
Or you don't have to worry about being indiscreet, as there will likely be little worry about the survivors.
Well, do you expect that we'll take part in a frontal assault? Or more of a pick and choose your raid action?
No, the Renegade fleet, we do not fight in traditional fashion. We would lose. Or even if we did win, we would lose in the long run. As I'm sure you've noticed, our supply lines are somewhat sparse in the city here. No, we fight like pirates.
In the last war, the Arnaki Navy won, right?
The Arnaki, nobody really won the naval conflict.
Okay.
At least on this front, the Federation won in Ethros, mainly because of more advanced technology. Here, the Arnaki held their ground just because they just have more ships.
Okay. So, so my perception.
It was pretty much a stalemate.
My perception of the Arnaki Navy would be pretty tough, or I'm just trying to think if I was involved in any action.
You would have definitely had action against them.
Was it mostly successful or kind of tough?
The situation here was the Federation Navy was almost always outgunned, and they managed to hold their own most of the time.
Okay.
But were never really able to press. So, I guess you'd say
So I think they're
subpar compared to Federation ships. The Federation ships are top of the line.
But in my experience, there's probably going to be a lot of them.
Yes.
And our ship.
They have access to all the jungle lumber, so lots of things.
Our ship is not super technologically advanced.
No, your ship is a Dracian ship.
Okay.
Just your standard wooden-sided frigate.
Okay. So something that the Arnaki Navy might be made of.
Yep, it was definitely made in a shipyard someplace in the Curse.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what Tara thinks of the Arnaki Navy.
Yeah, I would say in general, they have a large quantity of smaller ships with a couple of larger flagships.
Okay.
Sort of holding down the line. Tend to be fairly fond of boarding galleys as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kestrel says, "You'll forgive me if I'm being a little bit vague with the strategy. I will have to consult with my companions as to the specifics, but I would not wish to reveal my hand before you're committed to anything."
Well, it's hard to commit without revealing your hand, but I understand. We'll probably, I think, be taking off our catchers in a day or so. But if you get word, we don't have another one of those necklaces, do we? Of the Raven?
Nope. I mean, Blackmane has one, presumably still.
Okay. I don't want to give him mine. There's no great way for him to contact us. I mean, what do you guys think? We could give him mine and then just hope that Dio doesn't send any super revealing information in the next 3 days or whatever.
Or we could quick send a message to Dio saying, don't send any information.
Do we have a Raven?
You could ask to borrow one.
That's not a terrible
You don't
idea.
have a Raven, no.
I
Well,
mean,
actually, no, you probably have one in the ship. Because, yeah,
to send a message.
yeah.
We need to find like an aviary nearby. We could send a excuse me. What do you think? We could send a Raven to our contact in Ketters to tell him not that we're giving the amulet to fuck, what's his name?
Donna Kestro.
Castro. To Castro, and then he could contact our contact, who we will be meeting.
Do we need to go to Ketris though?
I don't know. We have a lot of stuff we need looked at. Plus, our contact was the. I'll try to like lower my voice a little bit. I'm not that sneaky. Everyone can hear me.
Yeah, I mean, like,
He's right behind me, right?
yeah, the Admiral, he'll, like, take a step or two back and kind of lean up against the table in sort of the token.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Dio sent us to go look at this stupid temple shit. We have to tell him about it, right? Plus collect our payment. Contact this, contact that. Fuck that. We need to go meet him and collect our payment at least and talk about what we found. We have a bunch of magic shit he could look at. Unless, I mean, there's mages here. I'll nod.
Why don't we
towards-
just ask? I'm just gonna lean over and say, "Hey, Admiral guy, if we were to participate, when would you want us? When would we need to report by?"
Well, I imagine 4 or 5 days before the 20th, in case of unexpected turns or and necessary preparations.
Oh my god! I just went up to my calendar app to start looking at when that is.
It's the 7th of December right now.
Also,
14th.
We would have to get there, maybe spend a day in Ketris, and then shoot back.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's better if we just chill here and you get at least 1 week of healing in.
well, here's the other thing, though. One, I can heal on the ship, I just can't be too active in the running of it. I think Dr. Finch will do well. Even if being on the ship is maybe not the best place to feel better after getting, or electrocuting yourself. But we could go there. We could pick up some goods here. We already have dropped off our goods, I think. We go
Yep,
there,
we sold-
talk to Dio, have a look at stuff, probably not pick up any cargo, and then come back, and I'd rather attack Arnaki from outside the port than inside the port. They'll see that coming a mile away. Whereas if we're outside the port, we can hit and run and go to anywhere. Right?
Oh, he's probably home.
But it also gives us almost no time to diverge from that plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so my compatriots are silent, Admiral.
You're the captain.
God, fuck!
Well,
I'm the captain.
I was cutting out for a second. I missed some of that.
My gist was that we could go to Dio, get our money, have him look at shit, sell whatever we could buy here, if there's time, and then we can, if we decide to, attack the Arnaki from outside the port instead of from inside the port, which they would be looking for.
Yeah,
But, I don't know, we could also, like, raiding from inside the port, you have a very safe place to run away to if it goes bad, but I don't know. We're pretty fast.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think he'll give us the map or the flags until we say for sure whether or not we'll help.
Right. I mean, if we leave, I don't think we come back to this port until the Arnaki are gone. If they are gone. Otherwise, we'd have to run a blockade to get into the port. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
So we wouldn't be helping them really, like, with them. We're just gonna start taking some Arnaki ships.
Also attack them.
I mean, that's how they fight anyways. But yes. I don't know. Admiral Castro, what do you think of that? Would you prefer us inside the port or outside?
Well, with our strategy, and he kind of like looks back at Kyrie and smiles. It would be difficult for us to coordinate were you to be coming from the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
The ships, as I said before, I expected them to blockade us, and we will be sailing out to attack them in a coordinated but individual method. You are more than welcome to come and join in on the fun in your own way, but I cannot guarantee that our plans will not interfere with yours.
Right. Okay. I have another thing. I've been working on something crazy for a while, and I think with enough magicians around and the right magical elements, I could maybe make our ship fly. Maybe.
Oh. Well, that's awfully ambitious.
I haven't done it before, but I think I can. And maybe we could just run the blockade by flying. Maybe. Like I said, I haven't done it.
That sounds amazing. And
you hear the like scratch, scratch, scratch of chalk on a slate, and Kyrie holds up the slate, and it says, "You're a ritualist?" ?
No, I have never done a ritual. Oh shit, I've been dabbling for a while. I've been asking people, learning shit, and I think I can do it. Like I said, yes, I am.
She erases it and then writes, "Sounds dangerous, but you should try it." And then winks.
Yeah, it does sound dangerous, and you should try.
Behind Car's back, I'm gonna kind of do the so hand motion.
Okay. Maybe we stay.
Well, if you do plan to assist us through a flying ship, I will instruct my captains to not fire upon any flying ships.
What's the maximum up angle on a cannon?
Not very
About the
high.
same as the maximum down angle.
Yeah.
Right. You just gotta, like, as you're flying, tilt the ship 45 degrees. There you go.
Yeah, everybody's sliding off the deck.
Look! I got an AC-130! Boom, 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 boom!
Just really hope that the other side that's like up, the ropes don't snap on those cannons.
Oh god.
Because that would be catastrophic.
I mean, in bad storm, you can
As
get
it
this
turns
thing at
out.
like 45 degrees.
As it turns out, sailing ships not designed to fly. Yeah, that's true. I guess it'd
Okay.
probably be safe, but I mean, I mean, storms are also not super safe with cannons on deck. Anyways, yes, that's the thing.
Alright, maybe we'll stay.
Well, you're welcome in port, and if you do intend to leave, I will instruct our harbor master to bring you the flags, or the correct sequence, rather, to properly re-enter port.
Well, thank you.
Dun, 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 dun.
You seem unlikely to be privateers in the service of the Aranaki, and I feel that I am a fairly good judge of character.
Not to mention you have a right-hand lady that
Also,
will-
yes, I did vet you with magic.
Yeah.
That is true. But you can never be too careful. The
Either that or the
Aranaki are
Aranaki.
known for their treachery.
They would have had to taken to recruiting some pretty fucking crazy people, if that's true.
Yeah, well, I've heard many stories and conversations for drinks and not meetings.
If you need us, send a runner to our ship. I think we'll be staying in port. If not, I'll let you know.
Very well. And he gives you like a little tip of his hat and says, when the captains have gathered, if you are still in port, I will send someone to fetch you.
Now, pull off my hat and do a big wavy bow and then whoop, out of here.
Sounds good. So you guys decided to stay in Grey Harbor then?
Oh, before we head out,
At the very least. Oh yeah, go ahead, Gerald.
I just want to ask if anyone's been asking about us in the last couple days, or poking their nose around about us.
The Admiral kind of says, I don't believe so. I've received no questions, but, well, most of the people that I talk to are part of my crew.
Okay.
And, Kyrie kind of like steps forward and there's like a couple seconds pause as she scratches on the slate, and then she holds it up and says, she writes this in Karite,
Okay.
and says, the crows are watching.
They always are, I say, in Gary.
Yeah.
Okay,
she-
thank you.
she just nods.
Let's go, Paul.
Paul?
Yeah.
Timber timbers.
Alright.
Alright, so you're back to the ship. Okay, so are you guys staying in Ketris for the time being? Or not Ketris, Grey Harbor. Whatever this place is.
What do you guys think?
I think as long as we're not at a threat of being attacked. That's a really tight timeline to try to make it to Tetris and back if we wanted to help with this.
We've also been attacked in Ketris. Although all those people are dead now.
There's
Yeah,
no.
but we haven't. Yeah, there's a little bit. There's been some time for of a power vacuum there, so maybe there's new people to kill us.
I mean, I would hope that Dio filled that somehow. But I'm not counting on that.
One might. I mean, he doesn't seem like super invested in city politics.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, staying in Grey Harbor, at least for the first little bit.
Alright, you're super
Yep.
robot, boys.
Very robot.
Okay, I'm gonna be the bonus.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard he's gonna be here in a couple minutes. Did you?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. 10. Okay. Cool. So
We should probably first go to the illusionist to make sure that he doesn't keep throwing up illusions of us.
right.
Didn't we do that?
I think you thought about it, but then just went back to the ship because you're like, ah, fuck it.
We just went to bed. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, we'll sort of go into a little bit of downtime speed right now. You guys can go back up to the Lodge of Witchcraft and let Lachlan know you're back in town.
Do we have some downtime?
Yep, you do. I mean, if you're planning on staying here until then, you have about 2 weeks of downtime. So
Great. Mr. Gibbs isn't here to agree to this, but he's going to teach me how to use my bayonet, and I want to get it before fighting.
I'm sure that. Wait, do you not have fighting?
No, I don't.
Oh wow.
You
Wait.
don't have. You have a D4 in fighting though, right?
I don't think so, unless it comes.
Oh, dude, your parry isn't even 4.
Oh, it isn't.
I think it's 2.
If you don't have fighting, your parry's 2.
Oh, well,
I thought
really
you
been a
did.
problem.
I must have overlooked that when I looked at your character sheet initially.
Oh wow.
Are you sure you don't have fighting?
Let me find another version of my character sheet and double check. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever mentioned that, I think everybody would have been like, no, get a D4.
Yeah. That's another thing that me and Caleb learned in like the random little one-off games that we played.
Yeah, if you don't have fighting.
Turns out an unarmed person who doesn't know how to fight is effectively just dead in combat.
You end up being parry 1.
with the child thing, I had to lose. It was either 2 or 3 skill slots.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay, so my parry is 2 now. Or is 2.
Yep.
Unless unless I have my rifle, and then it's. Well, then it just cancels out.
Okay.
But I don't think that's ever really been a problem. I'm pretty sure everyone who's attacked me has hit me.
Yeah, I mean, they might have hit you with, like, an extra raise at some point, or something like that, but, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. Good to know, though. And yeah, for future reference, if you don't have it fighting, your parry is 2.
Okay.
Yeah, unarmed is a +2 to hit you. So you need to roll a 0 to hit an unarmed person who doesn't have any training in fighting.
I mean, you still, I think, I believe extras still automatically fail if they roll a 1.
Oh,
And wildcards crit fail if they, obviously, if you crit fail. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So there is still a chance. It's just very low.
Yeah, I've just very much banked on not getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
Or not
Alright,
being
well,
in a place to get hit.
Yeah, then I think that's an excellent idea for you to learn how to defend yourself a little better.
Yeah, so that's what my 2 weeks are. I'm going to go buy a bayonet, and then learn how to use it.
Alright, yep, plenty of bayonets to buy here. Tara, I assume that you're going to
Rest and
not do
recuperate.
anything super crazy. So
At
yeah,
least
for the first
week.
At the very least. Alright.
Depending on my role. And assuming Dr. Tobias Finch helps me out.
Yeah. Yeah, he will. So before you do that, actually, before you make your natural wound healing thing, I want everybody to make a spirit roll. And I'll have Mike roll this when he gets on.
I got a 5.